One mayor gets recalled, another one is federally indicted, and our girl Tiffany Henyard back in the news again tonight on It's Culture Podcast. Let's get it. Welcome to It's Culture Podcast. My name is Mark and I'm the host. And tonight we got mayors going wild all over the country. We got to talk about what's going on out in Oakland, what's going on in Jackson, Mississippi, and we're going to head right back up to Dolton Township, Illinois, where my favorite mayor in the country, Tiffany Henyard, resides. But tonight, before we start, I just want to say, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell so you can get those notifications when I post my videos. And we're almost at 5,400. We keep climbing every single day. I appreciate everybody who's subscribing. I'm on my way to 6,000, so help me get to 6,000 subscribers. And then after that, we'll work on getting to 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. That's the goal, is get to 10K subscribers. So like I said, everybody who's tuned in, thank you so much for that. And I will continue to bring you content. Let's get into it. We're going to start out in Oakland. And a couple of months back, I had reported about some things that were going on with the Oakland mayor, Sheng Thao. She's the first Hmong mayor. She's a Democrat from Oakland. She's young. And she's been in office for about 2 years. And the residents of Oakland have had enough. So they decided that it was time for her to go. And in this election, she was recalled. Now, she's also got some other issues going on. There's some things people think that she might be corrupt. I reported a while ago that property that she owned had gotten raided by the FBI, along with some other people that she was close ties to. So we'll continue to see what goes on with that. But I want y'all to listen to the residents in Oakland as they talk about like what's next for Oakland, because Sheng Thao, crime is up. Businesses have left, and the people are trying to pick up the pieces. This is when people give you a chance, and it goes awry. So let's take a listen.
Atmosphere in Oakland's rock-rich neighborhood. Live music, sunny weather, and steady foot traffic. Oaklanders hope new leadership will bring needed change.
Excited for this new person, whoever it's going to be, to take on these challenges.
Blessings to you.
Yes.
Okay. How you doing? Nigel.
Nigel Jones owns 2 restaurants in Oakland. Both have seen fewer customers.
Small businesses, we cannot survive with the current level of foot traffic right now. It needs to pick up dramatically.
He's had to be creative, activate his restaurant space with live entertainment. Good food, he says, is no longer enough to draw customers to Oakland.
We have a new wine program here at Calabash, and we also are having different events, comedy, and all kinds of things that we are organizing with the community to make this a community space.
Yeah, so y'all see what he's saying. Basically, he didn't have to reinvent his entire business model because he's not getting enough foot traffic. And the reason why he's not getting enough foot traffic is because crime is up in the city. Now, I reported a while ago that Sheng Thao had fired the police chief, even though a lot of the residents and people didn't agree with it. She fired the police chief. Crime is through the roof, and the businesses are suffering. So either they're going out of business or they're just taking their business completely out of the city. We've seen the Golden State Warriors leave. We've seen the Oakland A's leave. So the city is losing businesses left and right. And they're blaming Sheng Thao and her administration for all of this. And it's very, very unfortunate.
Nigel says the new mayor will face the same old problem, crime. 2023 was a very violent year for the city. It's improving so far this year.
On Wednesday, a wine purveyor came to this restaurant. Within 20 minutes, he parked right here. His car was broken into. laptops stolen, et cetera, et cetera. So the numbers may have gone down, but it's still happening.
With the city facing a budget deficit and potential cuts to police and fire, he and many others want the city to laser focus on the priority issues.
I think crime is one of the main ones. I think feeling safe walking around your own neighborhood is very important, and I know that people in my community don't often feel that way.
The safety of our citizens, our shop owners, the people parking on the streets.
Duke here serves as a guard dog and security for Phoenix Optical on College Avenue.
All right, y'all. So y'all see the gist of what's going on with that. Crime is up, and when crime is up, people don't want to have businesses. So, they're going to blame the administration. I don't know what they expect mayors to do. A budget deficit. Don't know where the money's being spent. But clearly the residents were tired and they recalled the mayor. They also recalled the district attorney out there as well. So Oakland got a lot of stuff going on. So we're going to keep taking a look. I'll keep you all informed of what's going on in Oakland as they move forward. And I hope the residents of Oakland, I bid you all good luck in your endeavors, and hopefully you all can turn your city around. Now, moving on to a story that broke a couple of days ago. We're going to take our attention down to Jackson, Mississippi. And Jackson, for some reason, is never in the news for anything good. We've already covered their water crisis and how, Mayor Lumumba was going back and forth with their governor. I've covered how Deion Sanders left and went to Colorado, so we're not going to get into that. But this right here is about the administration of Mayor Lumumba and what has happened down in Jackson, Mississippi, as far as the city council and everything. The feds went down to Jackson and they decided that they were going to start indicting people. And you've had a city councilwoman who's already stepped down. In the same day, she pled guilty to conspiracy to commit bribery. Another one did it back in October, stepped down, pled guilty to conspiracy to same charge as the first council member. But this time, the Jackson mayor and a few other people, high-profile people in that city, have found themselves indicted by the feds. Now, I can't think of a time, last time I seen a mayor get indicted by the FBI like this for bribery. I know Mayor Adams, I talked about him. He's indicted for taking a bribe. But this one here is kind of, the timeline for this one is very, very crazy. So let's take a look and see what they're saying down there in good old Jackson.
Well, this is a story that the news team here at 16 WAPT has been hot on the trail of for months now. It all started back in May. Our crews were at the district attorney's office and a pair of downtown businesses Jody Owens owns when federal agents raided them, carrying out boxes of evidence for the case. Evidence that we now know included $20,000 in cash. After those raids, the case was quite quiet for a couple of months until the morning of August 14th, when the Ward 2 councilwoman, Angelique Lee, abruptly resigned from city council. Later that day, Lee was in federal court pleading guilty to conspiracy charges and bribery charges, the first domino to fall from the federal investigation. And once again, the buzz quieted down and attention turned to electing a new council person for Ward 2 until October 17th. That is when Shariq Marve Smith was in the courtroom and pled guilty to conspiracy to commit bribery charges. It was the court documents unsealed that day that laid out the roles of the three unindicted co-conspirators. We can now identify unindicted co-conspirator A as District Attorney Jody Owens, unindicted co-conspirator B as Councilman Aaron Banks, and unindicted co-conspirator C as Mayor Chokwe Antar Lumumba, which all brings us to today.
Okay. Do y'all see the high-profile people who absolutely got caught up in this? You got city council members, DAs, just everybody. And look at what color all of them were. All of them black people. And we always talk about we don't have representation and we got to vote because we don't get these opportunities. Look what's happening when our people are getting into office. Just look. Take a look at what is going on. Not only are they corrupt as hell, they're doing this in towns where majority of the people are black. They raid the DA and they find $20,000 in cash in one of his businesses. But you're supposed to be the purveyor of change, trying to change the criminal justice system to make it fairer. And you out here taking bribes. And all of this is over a piece of land that's supposed to be redeveloped or something in downtown Jackson. And the feds set these people completely up. They set this whole thing up, got them caught up. The mayor, he done came out and said, you know, he's going to fight it like everybody else. They always say they're going to fight it, right? They always say they're going to fight these charges. But then you see these people, they get indicted, and then we're left to pick up the pieces because they out here being corrupt. Now, the city of Jackson got all these issues. They still got a problem with the water. They still got an issue with, like, public utilities. 60% of the city is in poverty. High crime. That was kind of the reason why Deion Sanders left and went to Jackson State, left Jackson State and went to Colorado, because he talked about the crime. And here we are, our elected officials, who all look like me, getting indicted with charges of bribery and everything else. And the two city council people, they got indicted and pled guilty the same day. They didn't waste no time. They looked at the charges, was like, yeah, I'm guilty. Yeah, I'm guilty. So I'm pretty sure they got a sweetheart deal, and they were working with the FBI because they weren't the big fish. They were the small fish. So they trump up a charge up on them, stack them up on them, get them to flip, so they could be a cooperating witness, because the real people are the people, the three unindicted co-conspirators who end up being the mayor, the DA, and another councilman. We can't be voting on skin color no more, because we see what happens when we do it. We got to vote for the person that we think that's going to do the job, not just based on the skin color and the race and all that, because these mayors are out of control right now. They keep getting in trouble. We'll keep you informed, and I'll let y'all know as the news come in on that case, because I'm going to be interested to see exactly what happens when they finally bring all the charges against the mayor of Jackson. So, and now we move on to my favorite mayor, Tiffany Henyard. Tiffany, she's always in the news for something, right? She's always in the news, and I always report it because she gives me good content. But this time, involves a new police chief that she's trying to hire, because, you know, the township fired the other police chief because he's been indicted by the feds for his taxes. She tried to rehire him, and the township told her no. And so now she's trying to hire a new guy. And now the state board then got involved. So we're going to take a listen to what the state board had to say, because, you know, my girl Tiffany always gives me one. So let's see what they're saying about our favorite super mayor up there in Dolton, Illinois.
More drama in Dolton tonight. The state agency that regulates local law enforcement in Illinois says Mayor Tiffany Henyard's handpicked police chief is not right now legally qualified to run the department.
He's not legally qualified to run the department. This level of incompetency it just grows and grows with this one. But this is the politics that y'all voted for up there. So, hey, this is what y'all get when you keep voting for skin color.
Or even serve as an officer. Fox 32 obtained a letter sent by the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board to Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard on Friday regarding her appointment of Ronald Burge Sr. as Dolton Police Chief. Henyard appointed Burge as top cop in September over the objections of the majority of the Dolton trustees, who say she can't make appointments without their consent. In the letter, the deputy director of the Training and Standards Board tells Henyard that Burge is considered inactive because Dolton has not submitted the proper paperwork on his behalf, and because Burge has not completed a requalification shoot since 2021 when he was with the Dixmoor Police Department. For these reasons, he is currently not authorized to exercise law enforcement authority or to carry a firearm publicly, the letter says. We strongly encourage you to remove him from public service until an appointment is submitted and the board determines if he is eligible for reactivation and a training waiver. Last month, Dolton trustees were granted a restraining order, preventing Burge from serving without the board's approval. But after a chaotic village board meeting on Wednesday, the judge agreed with Henyard that Burge could serve as police chief on an interim basis for 30 days until a new chief is selected. The letter also includes a stern reminder to Henyard of your duty to conduct a thorough background check of Mr. Burge's criminal and employment history before making your determination of employment. Now, it's unclear just how much Burge has actually been working at the Dolton Police Department since his appointment. I spoke tonight to Dolton trustee Jason House, who told me they will likely now go back to court with that letter and try to convince the judge that Burge should not even be serving in an interim capacity.
The trustees in Dolton are not going to let Tiffany run Ruckshire, y'all. They are not. Jason House is not going to let her run Ruckshire. You're trying to appoint a guy who isn't even certified to be a police officer right now. Like, come on, Tiffany. Is your staff that incompetent that they can't even run a thorough background check to make sure that this guy's certifications are up to date? He hasn't done a qualifying shoot since 2021. It's 2024. Like, what are we doing here? It's like throwing stuff at the wall to try to see if you can get it fixed. Like, she wouldn't have found Barney Fife somewhere just hanging out. This man ain't qualified to be nobody's cop. He can't even be a basic street cop, let alone talking about being a police chief. Now, they did grant and say, hey, you can come in and do it on an interim basis, but them trustees ain't going for that. They're not going to let Tiffany win this one. So she back to the drawing board. Go find you a police chief. And when you find one, see if you can actually pay him, because we know this city's broke because she bankrupted the city. So, but it's always funny when she's doing something up there in Dolton and the trustees always push back because Tiffany stays in the news. But that's my time for the night, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think about these mayors. We done had one get recalled, another one under federal investigation, and our favorite one up there in Dolton doing her usual. Her usual. Yeah. And put it down in the chat. I thank you all so much for tuning in. Until next time, Culture Nation, let's keep it culture.